Back here, first things first. Undisputed coming up at 9:30 sharp. Jenny Taft, good morning to you. Tell us about the show today. What are you guys talking about?
Hey guys, good morning. Jenna, coming up on Undisputed, who has the upper hand now between the Bucks and Raptors, and will the NBA Finals influence Kevin Durant's free agency decision? Plus, Manny Pacquiao is in studio with us to talk about his big fight this summer. Looking forward to it. Undisputed coming up next. Jenna, back to you and the guys.
All right, Jenny, thank you. Look forward to that. Time now for Say What? Kyler Murray recently participated in OTAs with the Cardinals. His offensive guard, Justin Pugh, had some interesting comments on how Kyler is trying to win his teammates over. Say what?
He already won a lot of guys over with breakfast sandwiches and donuts.
Today or
it was the first day.
Okay.
We were in last week, but it was a lot of donuts. Like, we couldn't finish the amount of donuts. It might have been like 6 dozen, and then we had the breakfast sandwiches. So I know I had one of each just to sample it. So it went well. It was in there when we got in there, so you might have to ask him. But we had that, and we had some milk too.
Oh, and milk. Went all out.
Ice cold glass of milk. So a nice little, looks like a bacon, egg, and cheese McMuffin.
Yeah.
Egg McMuffin. Oh my God. Sounds so good. Donuts, not a huge fan of. Those little breakfast sandwiches, though.
Yeah, the breakfast sandwiches are huge as far as the rookies. You definitely let them know at the beginning we want donuts, we want breakfast sandwiches.
Yeah.
But let me tell you something. He better buy him some protection, because that dude Pugh who's eating them, who's eating them donuts.
Yeah.
Last time he played football, he's not real good at protecting the quarterback. So enjoy it, Kyler.
Hey, look, I like it. Good move. Love what he did.
But do you think they should have made him wear the chef's hat when he delivered it?
Okay, I know that's Photoshop. I'm not falling for that 7 straight times.
No, when was the last time you had a nice, delicious donut?
A full donut? I'm
No,
not.
just maybe a
never. One of these Jetta Wolf vintage lies. Never had a donut?
I've never had one. I've never had a full donut. I can't remember it. Maybe once in college. Crazy night. What are these vintage Jetta Wolf? Look at her face. Okay, look.
When was the last time you had kale, Nick?
Jenna, you and I are the veterans around here.
Yes.
We're going to have our rookie bring in some donuts tomorrow.
Okay.
All right,
I'll eat it. You know what? I'll eat one on the air, and I'll show you that I don't mind eating the food.
It'll be the first one of your whole life.
Okay. Enough.
The first full donut in Jetta Wolf's life.
Rookie assignment tomorrow.
9:18 Eastern.
I can't with him. I can't.
Wait for it.
Back to the Bucks and Raptors. Now you got me thinking. Toronto took down Milwaukee 120-102 to even up the series at 2 games apiece. I honestly don't remember, Nick. Kawhi was hobbled, but Kyle Lowry led the way for Toronto, scoring 25 points. And the bench came up big with 48 points. The series now shifts back to Milwaukee for Game 5 on Thursday night. Here's Kawhi after the win.
I feel good. Keep going and keep fighting. We have a chance to, make history.
And this is one of the nights that, we knew Kawhi was a little bit limited, and we had to come out and be aggressive for him. And the great thing about having him on your team is he still gets all the attention. And we fed off of that, drive, kick, swing. He gets in the lane, kick out, and, that's the benefit of having a superstar like him on the team.
Still got to get better, and I'm sticking that game plan. Just got to play with more energy, execute better. But our feeling is the same. It doesn't change. They did their job. They protected the home, and we got to do our job now.
All right, Nick, let's break it down. How did the Raptors do it, despite the fact that Kawhi was playing with an injury?
Playing with an injury and expending the vast majority of the energy he had on the defensive end. After a career-high 52 minutes in Game 3, the must-win Game 3, they faced what I believe to be an equally must-win Game 4, and it was still a line from the defending champ Golden State Warriors. It was strength in numbers last night. And they did something that has only been done once all season long, which is beat the Bucks when the Bucks had lost their previous game. Milwaukee was 22-1 coming off a loss this year. The only other team to beat them was the awful Phoenix Suns, which makes you to give them a back-to-back loss in this situation.
They've only lost back-to-back games one time.
One time, and it was the second loss was to the Suns, which makes you believe maybe Milwaukee didn't take that game super seriously. It was when they were already cruising towards 60 wins.
Yes.
Those 22 wins they had coming off a loss. Average margin of victory, 15 points. Milwaukee had a chance last night to make it clear, hey, you won game 3, you kept your season alive, took you double overtime to do it. Giannis had a rough night, and you still needed double overtime. We are not just better than you. We are clearly the best team in the league, and Toronto wouldn't let them do it. Toronto fell down 7 early. Nick Nurse called timeout, said you are not matching the intensity of your opponent. And from that moment forward, Toronto controlled this game with important contributions from Fred VanVleet, who'd been on a milk carton, from Serge Ibaka, who was really, really good. Powell, who you've talked a lot about, had another solid game. Lowry was outstanding, and they stifled Milwaukee's top 3 offense. This was an incredibly impressive and obviously critical win for the Raptors that now they've forced it into a best of 3 where they have a legitimate shot.
In the best of 3, I'm going to reverse it. You said game number 5 is a must-win for Toronto. I believe it's a must-win for the Milwaukee Bucks.
Oh, no, I was saying game number 4 was a must-win for Toronto.
It was definitely a must-win. But I'm going to believe Milwaukee in game number 5 because the way the momentum has shifted. And in this mini-series, because it's a 3-game series now, win 2 games and you're able to go on to the NBA Finals. For the Milwaukee Bucks, Toronto Raptors, both of them believe it's right there. They can just reach out and grab it. But if Milwaukee loses, and you talked about this only the 2nd time they lost back-to-back games, imagine if they lose 3 in a row.
Which they haven't done all year at any point.
And so now you go back to Toronto with that crowd and the way they were getting on Giannis at the free throw line. Bledsoe puts together another bad game. And just like that, we talk about the team that won 60 games, their season's in jeopardy. This is a very competitive series, and I believe it's almost impossible, if Kawhi is at the health he was at last night, for them to win a 7-game series. Because I do believe it's going to go 7 games, but 2 times in the 4th quarter in Milwaukee, I believe Kawhi could take over those games. I don't believe that the others, I wouldn't put that pressure on them. In last night's game, the others for the first 3 quarters, they were great. You didn't have to depend on them in crunch time because they had control of the game. So this is an exciting series. I expected these 2 teams, they were the best 2 teams during the regular season. Even though I know we talk about Golden State, these 2 teams had the best record, and it's playing out that way.
And you thought Toronto would win last night. I didn't. I thought Milwaukee would assert. When one team is clearly better than the other, a lot of times the lesser team wins game 3. They're not going to get swept. You win game 3 on your home court, and then the far superior team takes control of the series in game 4. That's what I thought Milwaukee was going to do last night. You had Toronto. Toronto not only won, they dominated the game.
For the last 2 games, Kawhi was on Giannis. Giannis had 2 slow games. The Raptors won both of those games. Now you look ahead. What do you think will be the key, and who do you think will have the edge in this moving forward?
Kawhi is one of the keys. No one has defended Giannis in this 3rd round of the playoffs. Giannis has been defended by 18 different players that have been on him at least 10 possessions. Kawhi has forced him into the lowest percentage shooting the basketball when Kawhi is on him, and he's been on him 94 times in this championship series. He's shooting 30% in those 90 times. So we're going to see more of that. But you can't even talk about Kawhi and him slowing down Giannis. We'll talk about Nick Nurse and what he did as far as a defensive standpoint. They're going to allow these other guys to be able to get shots. So they're going to be in the lane. Giannis got off to a great start last night. They made a little bit of an adjustment. Even Danny Green guarding Giannis sometime because they're not going to allow him to have layups and dunks. So Kawhi in the defensive standpoint, to me, that is the biggest thing in this series. Can he keep up his defensive energy and still be less than 100% on the offensive end? I believe it's hard to impossible for the Raptors to be able to win that way, Nick.
Right. You think Kawhi is going to have to be able to do what he was doing in the Philly series in the beginning of this series, even though they weren't winning, which is outstanding defense and being their leading scorer offensively. To me, the key is very simple. What team are the Milwaukee Bucks? Are they the typical NBA really good team at this stage in their progression where they come up around short of making the NBA Finals? Or are they going to be the team that I believe they are, which is this is the first time in the postseason they're facing adversity, and they're going to answer it resoundingly. This is the first time all season they're facing adversity. This is the first time with Mike Budenholzer as their head coach they're facing adversity. How are they going to respond? I think it's going to be similar to how the Warriors responded in 2015, down 2-1 to Memphis, the way where they rallied and became the champion team that they ended up being. That's what I think we're going to see from Milwaukee in Game 5.
I don't have any inside information, but I do believe this because I know the person. The more games Toronto wins, the better chance of them signing Kawhi Leonard.
Oh, yeah.
The better the experiences him and Kyle Lowry are having together. Him and Gasol are having together. Him and these young players. Him and the coach being able to make adjustments. So every game, it means an awful lot as far as what their legacy is, but it's also talking about, because free agency, man, is dominating a lot of the conversation. Every positive moment is a positive moment for Raptors fans as far as keeping Kawhi there.
All right, Game 5, Bucks and Raptors will be Thursday night from Milwaukee. Moving on to Kevin Durant now. We continue to wonder where he'll be playing basketball next season. According to a report, the Clippers and Knicks are now seen as equal threats to land KD. However, Warriors owner Joe Lacob says he's confident KD will re-sign in Golden State next season. KD's manager, Rich Kleiman, said absolutely no decision has yet to be made.
100% undecided, and I'm waiting on Kevin. You know, that's the truth. I think there's a feeling that this thing is like war games, and everybody's kind of like
playing a role.
Yeah, playing chess like years out, but when somebody gets to the level of basketball that he's at, you can't juggle focus like that. There's so many things he's juggling too. He's not scripting his future while he's playing the way he plays and practices the way he practices. He really doesn't know, and I really don't know.
All right, CC, what do you think the best option for KD will be in free agency?
Well, I think KD has a number of options, but I just believe as far as KD, the things he's communicated that are important to him, and that being his legacy, that being the things he wants to be involved off the court from a business standpoint. The reason why that's more important to me is because he said it. Kawhi Leonard, I can talk about his future because I know it's based on basketball. He don't care anything about that. Last year, the shoe deal was important to him. He was able to get that with New Balance. A lot of these players, they have their own little things that they want to do within their own personality. A media company. If you're going to be at a media company, man, New York or Los Angeles. So now it's a matter, does he want to go to the Clippers? I know he has a home there. I know there's a great deal of interest. But if you look at last year, when we were watching everything as far as free agency, LeBron was playing, and LeBron did the best job as far as a free agent. I'll address that in the offseason. So you couldn't keep just picking at him. But the Lakers had done everything from a cap standpoint, shipping off younger players so that LeBron James is going to be there. Nick, you knew early in the process, man, LeBron's going to be with the Lakers. The Knicks have done similar things. They traded Cris DEBATE. They cleared the space for 2 players.
They brought in one of his buddies as an assistant coach. They've done a lot of things.
I mean, sometimes 1 + 1 is 2. But we try to make it out to be some sophisticated math and everything. I don't believe that he's made his decision. Steven Jackson, a close friend of his, a couple other people I've talked to, he's been consistent in that. But I do believe the first day of free agency, when he does sign, that he'll be up and ready to go in New York. I believe he's already got some office space. I believe they already have a place to live. I believe a lot of things have been done to send the message that we've come to the conclusion that we have.
And what Rich Kleiman's saying is patently not true. That, oh, there's too much going on during an NBA season to be thinking about your next move.
Oh, okay. That's when it happened.
Oh, all right, well, except for the fact that Draymond, during the 73-win season, was recruiting Kevin Durant during that Oklahoma City Thunder season, talking about their next move. That LeBron was putting pieces in place for his move to Los Angeles last year. That LeBron and Chris Bosh and D. Wade started talking about playing together at the Olympics years before, structured their contracts so it could potentially happen. So that part's nonsense. But where's the best place? Well, if it's the most money is Golden State, and the best chance to win is obviously Golden State. But much like if you ask someone to marry you and they say, I don't know, that's an answer. The answer is no. If they can pay you the most money and you have the best chance to win titles, then we would already know you're staying. There wouldn't be, Rich Kleiman wouldn't be up there saying, I don't know. Because Kevin Durant would have told the whole world months ago, of course I'm staying here. They can pay me the most money. We're about to move into a brand new arena. I'm 2-time defending finals MVP. So he's leaving. And if there was any question that he's leaving, seeing the team sweep Portland without him solidified that he's leaving. Does he want to be with the Clippers, where he will be in the shadow of LeBron in Los Angeles, or the Knicks? I think the answer has always been the Knicks.
Man, I asked Sue to marry me, and she told me, man, all that ain't necessary.
Okay,
so what does that mean?
Well, I don't know. That's a Z-block conversation another day.
So we have to go right now. Undisputed.